We be live. I don't know at what point we went live. So I don't...
I'm like, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Okay, so we're live and people are in the live chat. And if you're wondering why we're streaming on my personal channel, Armin Navabi, instead of Atheist Republic, it's because Atheist Republic has been demonetized. Why? We have no idea. For hate, I mean, they say for hateful conduct, but they don't tell you which video, so we don't know what we did wrong. Anyways, we're here on my personal channel, streaming live on my personal channel, Armin Navabi YouTube channel, and then later it's uploaded on Atheist Republic, right? So uploaded, but so it's not streaming live. If you're watching this on Susie,
I know it drives me crazy. You don't even.
It's so dumb. I tell them we're streaming this not on Atheist Republic, and then when we upload it on Atheist Republic, people are like, "You're lying. This is on. I'm watching this on Atheist Republic." I'm like, "Oh God, it's not streaming on Atheist Republic, you idiots. It's uploaded." Oh God. Anyways,
we can only do so much.
Maybe if I tell you what I'm thinking, we get demonetized here as well.
Oh, definitely.
Hey, Ghost Bunny, why are you upset? That you're getting that because we're monetized here. That's why you're that. That's a good sign. That's not a bad sign. We're gonna lose Susie. We're gonna lose monetization here at some point as well. We're gonna lose.
You know we are.
We're gonna get demonetized everywhere. It's fine. All right, where's your questions? I'm sorry if
I may have missed an announcement, but why are the streams been an hour later than normal? Because of daylight savings.
Yes, of course. Has it been daylight saving in India?
I don't know.
No. Okay,
I'm very American centric. I only know what's happening with me.
Yes. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it is an hour later for me as well.
Wait, do people miss the intro because of the ad? Doesn't it start when the ad is? I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, the intro was so good. You have to go on back, watch it again. Susie, guys, where are your questions? You guys are just commenting.
Someone asked, "What is Atheist Republic Masterminds?" So that's one of our Facebook groups, but that's for our Facebook group for people who want to have more serious discussions.
The elitists.
Basically. They're like the main group, the main private group.
So we have a page, Atheist Republic Facebook page with 2,400,000 followers, which is the largest atheist, not Facebook page, anything page anywhere in the whole world. Not anything atheist page. No, I'm just saying not the word. No. So what I'm saying is that it's not the world's largest atheist Facebook page. It's the world's largest atheist-related anything. And then we have a private group, Atheist Republic private group, not a page, and that's also the world's largest private atheist group. And then so many people complain. So here's the thing. The reason why we made the private group is a lot of people when we first started the page, so many people are like, I don't want to engage here because I don't want people to see that I'm engaging with atheist stuff. So we made them a private group. And then some people are like, oh, this is so childish. People are posting memes here. And I want to have serious intellectual discussion. This is too low level for me. And they're like, fine. Here's a mastermind, Atheist Republic mastermind group.
And a book club, and a gaming club, and a dating group.
We had
you know that we have a dating group.
Yes, we have
not to mention local consulates. Like
yes, for every city.
100.
We also used to have an LGBT group, which went under a coup by wokeists.
They stole a group from us. They straight up stole a group from us.
Yeah, they were like, they basically did a coup d'etat.
They called you transphobic and racist, I think.
Yeah. Amazing.
Meanwhile, you literally think transgender people are going to save humanity.
I think transgender rights is I think it's the most important human rights movement of our time. And I think like some people might think I'm even when they hear why I think that, even some trans rights people think I'm exaggerating. And they call me a transphobe. But anyways, they deflected with some rogue admins, which ended up being actually a good thing, because the admins involved in that group were admins involved
in the biggest private group, and they could
in the biggest private group, and I want
there instead.
No, because it's an Atheist Republic, so I couldn't just remove admins, right? Like we was supposed to be like group decision of who's an admin or not, and there was this admin that was in that LGBT group. I really wanted to get rid of him, and I couldn't because I didn't have the full authority to get rid of him. And once he did this coup thing, I was like, okay. I went to the other admins and told them, like, look what he's doing, and we kicked him off of the main group. So we lost a group of, I don't know how many people, 3,000 people, but then we managed to
like a little over 2,000.
Yeah, I mean, so that was good because I managed to get rid of this really woke admin from our main private group, which is like ended up being a good thing. We got a new member, Al-Uza.
Al-Uza Akbar, thank you. If you guys want to know the full story, go to the Atheist Republic channel, and then we have a video called Atheist Republic Removes Woke Admins.
Oh yeah, search for that on YouTube. We covered that story. That was a while ago.
Oh, just a second.
Yeah, every time we lose, something bad happens to Atheist Republic. It ended up being a good thing overall. I mean, so far it seems. Yeah, go find that YouTube video. So okay, so guys, Susie's back. You're still muted, by the way, if you're talking, Susie.
No.
It was a Mossad operation? No.
How could they do that to him?
No.
He's their
Mossad loves me.
Biggest simp.
I'm the
Mossad.
The only people I simp for is Mossad.
How is Armin a transphobe? I can't even remember. I think a lot of it had to do with also your reaction to a lot of the increased and intensified BLM rhetoric that was going on at the time.
No, it wasn't that.
I think there was a flavor of that.
No, but I don't even remember why they specifically thought I was transphobic. Did I say anything? I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting because trans rights is one of the main movements that I support. So I don't understand. It's like, I think the smaller a percentage of a population your group is, the more of a protection you need, from the rest of society, because you don't have the numbers to protect to create a movement. You know what I mean? Like this is why women rights movement was ahead of gay rights movement, because half the population were women. So they had the numbers to be able to push that forward much faster than gay rights. And this is why gay rights movement in Western countries is ahead of trans rights movement, because they have the numbers to support a lot of activism. I mean, hey, I can hear it. But gay people still need the support of straight people, because the numbers are still low, right? You need non-gay people to join that movement for that to get any momentum. But the people that need it the most are trans people, because they're such a small percentage of the population.
I just people were asking about like what's the whole story. I just posted a link to the video, and I think we even go over some we go over some screenshots of like people with their exact accusations.
All right, so this is Kenji is asking me about something that is gonna get me into some. So I know this might sound pretty out there for you guys, okay? But
have you heard his take on cannibalism?
No, shh. Okay, no, okay. Here's the thing, guys. Susie, now you're get us demonetized. Okay, so this might be like really crazy, okay? But bear with me. Try to Okay, be skeptical. I might be wrong about this, okay? But be open-minded, okay? A little bit. Not too open-minded, but just give me the benefit of the doubt, okay? I think, so basically the question is by Kenji. Kenji saying, can you explain why you think that trans rights movement is the most important movement ever? Not challenging, but just curious. Okay, here's my answer. I think the most, oh my God, how do I tell this without sounding insane? I think that we have accepted death as something normal and without any justification. Like, I think like future generations, like we are so close. Humanity is so closer than most people realize to defeating death as a whole, right? And I think future generations are going to look back at people who used to die with horror. And the fact that that was something normal would be unimaginable for many people. And I think that we are close to becoming much better than just humans, right? I really believe that transhumanism is something that we are, like, a lot of people, like estimations of a lot of people of how far we are from that is very pessimistic. I think like there's not much more barriers. Like the way that we're progressing, we might be, all of us that we're speaking here might be the last generation who dies. If we die, we end up being the unluckiest humans that ever lived. We were the last people who died. I think transhumanism is the solution to almost everything right now, like all the diseases, death, poverty, everything. And I think the main barrier to transhumanism is not going to be the science and technology. I think the main barrier to transhumanism is going to be disgust, fear, and people being worried about changing too fast, and people, conservatives and people wanting to keep certain things, thinking there's something special about remaining fully human, right? And so I think transhumanism is going to save the world, right? So any barriers, any emotional barriers to removing any challenging the emotional barriers that people might have to transhumanism is going to save everybody, right? So I think changing anything about your body, normalizing that, is going to eventually lead us to normalizing changing. Like if we can change gender, right? Why stop there? You can change everything else, right? And I think I keep wanting to say transgenderism, but people say that that's a negative word to use. So I don't know what else to use. Being transgender, normalizing that, and accepting that. I think eventually, I know that conservatives use that as a fear tactic, as a slippery slope. Like, well, if you normalize this, changing this, then they want to change that. And I'm like,
yes.
yeah, good. Like, yes, please. Like, oh, first they're going to change gender, and they're going to go, if they can, modern medicine can change this, what then they're going to go like, well, can't we improve this and improve that? I'm like,
cool.
Okay, like yeah, like why are you saying that like it's a bad thing?
Yeah. Because
Like,
you're interfering with God's divine plan, his perfect creation.
Improving it. Right? So I don't know, I just think like I think, this might be, I mean, I am for transgender rights for the sake of transgender people, but I'm also for transgender rights for the sake of humanity and everybody else, right? For the sake of everybody else. So I think trans right activists don't know that they might be saving humanity by removing the barriers, emotional barriers that people might have when it comes to improving and changing the human body and mind and everything, right? So I don't know. Let's see if did people think I'm crazy now, or did people agree?
That's not even close to your most controversial or crazy take.
Yeah. I'm talking about, people are like, are you talking about genetic? I'm talking about everything. Everything. I'm talking about adding genetic, cosmetic, replacing your heart from birth, improving it to something superior from the very get-go, adding processors, memory banks to your brain, eventually, hopefully, just like giving up on the body as a whole, and just like go from a carbon-based life to a silicon-based life, all of it. So if you ask me, are you talking about this or that? I'm like, yes.
Yes. Here's a question. Susie and Armin, what's your opinion on Mormonism? Do you see it only as a Christian sect, or do you see it as its own religion, such as Baha'is from Islam and Christianity from Judaism? So, I mean, just coming from a Catholic background, like, I think Mormonism, like, my family, like, or some of my family, don't consider Mormons to be Christians. They're like, what are you talking? Like, they're not Christians. Like, what? And some of their beliefs are so out there. I mean, like, not religion, but I mean, like, outside of Christian canon, that it can be very difficult for me to see them as Christians. I mean, like, these beliefs that, I'm not super well versed in Mormonism, but I know that there's some aspect of, if you are godly enough, you will actually like become your own god basically in the afterlife, and you get your own planet. And that there's like stuff like that where it's just so far beyond anything that I know as Christian. I'm like, this is heresy on steroids. Yeah.
I guess it depends on your definition of Christianity. If you think that Christianity means believing in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, technically, by definition, is Christianity, right? And so depends on your definition. All right, do some member questions before other people question.
So Kumar is saying, wait, no, I want to ask it where he was on Twitch. Guys, go follow us on Twitch. So Armin, Susie, what are your thoughts on the Arab princess saying that Indian officials drugged her and returned her to KSA? So I think you're talking about Princess Latifa. I don't know about that. Except she wasn't returned to Saudi Arabia. She was returned to Dubai.
And then, yeah.
So truth be told, I don't know that much about the circumstances of her abduction. I know that she was abducted off of the coast of India, like, based on my preliminary readings of the subject, like basically almost like a pirate hostage situation, like really crazy stuff. I haven't heard anything about drugging though. So I don't know, especially saying that officials did that. But even me not knowing those details, the whole situation really highlights like how far money can get you. Because she had to travel like through nations as a hostage to get back to Dubai, right? Possibly drugged at some point. Money will make stuff like that happen. That's how powerful these people are. It can be pretty scary.
I don't know anything. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I have no idea about any of this. Yeah, so I'm going to claim ignorance. All right.
There's some stories. Real quick, what are your views on the secular professor of Oxford University where he said Oxford is not a place for Sanatani Hindus, where a 22-year-old Indian girl was hounded because of faith? I know nothing about this.
I don't know anything about this either. We should look into it though. Right, let's go.
Oh, wait. No, you already said.
Wait, I actually highlighted the people that said they don't think I'm crazy. Yay, look. People agreed with me. So. Yay. Also was, look at that. Okay, good. Thank you guys for, I was thinking like, am I going insane? Yes. But no.
Okay, here's a question. Do you think English language ex-Muslim YouTubers such as Harris and AP, meaning Apostate Prophet, should seek advice from Arab language ex-Muslim YouTubers in order to produce more nuanced, higher quality content?
No, why? I mean, first of all, most of the Muslim world is not Arab. Why does it have to be an Arab?
Maybe he means like they could use their experience and the meaning that they're more easily able to glean being native Arabic speakers than
no, you don't need to do that. Content. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It might be interesting, but you don't need to do that. Why would you need to do that? I think your question needs to be more specific. Why do you think they need to do that? There's enough content available in English. It's actually, yeah. I would actually think it might be the other way around. I appreciate the Orientalist review of Islam a lot more than the Islamic scholars. They are a lot more nuanced and a lot more sophisticated in their approach. And unfortunately, most of that is not available in Arabic. Most of that is translated into English, though. So I think everything that is in Arabic, like if you think like somebody with Arabic would have a more nuanced perspective of Islam, that's not true, because, for example, you could say like, oh, if you don't understand Arabic, you might not know the true meaning behind this Quranic verse. Well, you could read the tafsir of Arab-speaking scholars, multiple different commentaries of Arab-speaking scholars on that Quranic verse who were Muslim, closer to Muhammad than any of the scholars that exist today. So as an English-speaking reviewer of Islam, nothing is lost to you. I think, in fact, if you know Arabic and you don't know English, a lot of these books, especially are not available to you. A lot of the Orientalist especially now, God damn it, so much stuff is coming out now that is giving you a much deeper perspective about the early Islamic history, especially. And I think an English speaking, but again, I'm not saying that Arab, again, here's the thing, it's not hard to criticize Islam, okay? It's so ridiculous. You could, so you don't have to, based on any language, you could point out how ridiculous Islam is, right? I'm not saying that, you need to have a scholarly perspective on early Islamic history to be able to touch Islam. No, a child could look at Islam and be like, okay, yeah, this is ridiculous, right? So, but if you want to get advanced, if you want to get like to a higher level of understanding the nuances in Islam, I think knowing English gives you access to more material than Arabic, better material. Yeah.
I think, and also like, they don't necessarily have to make more nuanced content.
You don't need that much nuance to be like, yeah, a guy didn't cut the moon in half with a sword. Like, yeah, how much nuance do you need?
Yeah, I know, but also like that's not for everyone,
right?
Like where I go for that, I actually go to Islamic scholars. They have a very biased perspective, but it's useful for me,
right,
to understand what they want me to believe.
Yeah, so it depends on what you're interested in, right? Are you interested in just telling the most basic reasons why Islam is wrong? Okay, for that, any language is good, right? Are you interested in, not really necessarily like reviewing why Islam is wrong, but having a better understanding of how different Islamic schools of thought think about their own religion? Luckily now they all are representing themselves in English in many different ways, so you don't need Arabic for that either. However, then there's another area which is like actual historical academic analysis. Again, nobody needs to go there unless you want to, but for that, English is the best language to know. Maybe even the second language would be German. I think. Anyways, but yeah, let's continue.
Because they have the benefit of not being censored by like governments, typically. Generalizing. Yeah. Casey is saying, what are your thoughts on the Pope signing off on not blessing people that want to get married and are gay or transgender or whatever because it's a sin? To me, that kind of ruins his unity message. We're actually going to be talking about that on the news this week. So tune in on Saturday.
This doesn't contradict anything that the Pope ever said before.
Yeah.
People who think like when the Pope said like, oh, his unity message is now being contradicted by this. No, the Vatican never ever suggested that any of this is not a sin. Never. I think like people say like, here's the thing, there are some, the Vatican has been consistent about this, but there are some parts of it that if you want to be like a firebrand Pope that goes against the LGBT movement, you could highlight certain stances that the Vatican has about this stuff. And if you want to act like you're more fluffy, lovey, rainbow holding hands, there are certain other positions that they have you could highlight. But the thing is, just the fact that this Pope might at some point highlighted another stance that the Vatican has, doesn't mean that the stance of the Vatican has changed in this topic in recent history.
Yeah. I mean, I'll save like most of my thoughts for Saturday, but I think it's kind of ludicrous that people expected anything different, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, this is completely consistent with Christianity, let alone the Catechism of the Catholic Church.
Like, did people expect this Pope to come and be like, oh yeah,
having gay sex, we're redoing everything.
Having gay sex is not a sin. That would be a major. Yeah, that would be a shock. But yeah, let's go to.
Yeah, he's just gonna turn his back on the Catechism, like in canon law.
That would be earth shattering. That would be amazing, though. But yeah, that's good.
Zion is saying, is Hindutva hate against Islam and Christianity justified? As they say, those religions cause violence.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, okay.
It doesn't. Wait, let me. Okay. Anyone's hatred towards Islam and Christianity is justified, even if they don't cause violence. Okay? It's not Hindutva. Okay, first of all, the problem we have with Hindutva is not their hatred for Islam and Christianity. The problem we have with Hindutva is their hatred for Christians and Muslims, the people, not the religions. That's the problem we have with Hindutva, okay? And again, Islam and Christianity do cause violence, but even if they didn't, hatred towards them would be justified because they're not true. Believing in untrue things is something that you should avoid. All right. And again, by the way, I say that as somebody who says that you could also enjoy Islam and Christianity if you don't believe it, if you look at it as mythology. Right. So when I say I hate Islam and Christianity, I'm talking about believing that they're true and looking at them as guide to life. Yes, it's justified to hate those religions, obviously. And you don't have to be Hindu. You could be anybody. Yeah.
I mean, I think I wish that they would sometimes look upon their own hypocrisy in terms of like the way in which their own ideology causes violence, and not even specific bigotry against those groups. Like outside of that, it would still cause violence. It would still cause discrimination. and still cause violence against women. So that just really frustrates me. You know, it's like, okay, well, you know, maybe a little self-reflection. You know, these other groups aren't the only ones.
And also, Hinduism involves believing in supernatural nonsense without evidence as well.
Yeah. There was something else I was going to say. I forget. Their hatred against all Christians and all Muslims is definitely not justified.
Yeah, of course. Next question.
Next question. If God appeared, how can he prove he is God and not some technologically advanced alien? I guess if you think time travel is impossible, then if he tells the future in any other ways?
Well, I don't know what that means. I don't know. He could rearrange the stars, maybe, yeah, or something like that.
No, but like, okay, let's change this question. Like, if God appeared, how would we objectively prove that to be true?
Well, what's the definition of God in this situation? The conscious creator of the universe?
Let's go with that one.
Okay. Maybe change the entire universe.
A conscious creator of the universe that intercedes in one's life.
Yeah, you can't just be like, yeah, maybe like, I don't know, change the whole universe in a second. The whole universe, not like I'm not talking about like turning bread into fish, water into wine. I'm talking about the entire universe. Change it in a second. Go.
Yeah, like
I guess that would be pretty good proof. Yeah,
like change physics, but I would also want it to be replicable.
Change the laws of physics. That would be cool. Go.
Yeah, but I would need if God appeared and did this, I would need it to be replicable under different circumstances as well.
Yeah, it needs to be repeatable. You have to prove to you that this is not the hallucination you had.
Yeah,
it needs to be tested.
And then, given depending on how it happened the first time,
you also have to prove to me
control for different variables.
You have to also prove to me that this is not a dream.
Oh.
Also, if you're a god, you know exactly how to prove to me you're a god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you asking me how? Why are you asking me how you can prove yourself? You know exactly how you can prove that you're God. So why are you asking me? Like, are you not God? Answer your own question.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. All right. Next.
There's a similar movement to me.
I don't know what that means.
It's hot now in. Oh, so they're saying that there's a similar movement that's similar to Me Too, that is it's gaining traction now in Egypt. Do you think it?
I don't know, but I hope it.
I don't know anything about this.
I mean, I know a little bit about this. I don't know enough to know if it's going to succeed, but I hope it does. Egypt needs that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Egypt
Okay.
Is one of the ones that needs it the most. Holy cow.
So we're not in a position to know how successful this movement is going to be in Egypt, but we sure hope it goes far. It goes far in Egypt. Yeah.
God damn. This is a good question. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Susie, Armin, have you ever heard of a religion called Manichaeism or Manichaeism?
Wait, is that?
Yes, it is.
Is that the guy that I told you about?
Yes.
The Persian guy?
Armin was reading a book about the history of Iran. I believe that's what the book was. And then we're working together one day and goes, Susie, I figured out who messed you up. And I was like, what? He's like, I know who is responsible for your sex shame that you have to deal with. And it's one of my people.
I was like, sorry, it was us again. We ruin everything.
It was so funny. And then you read me a passage from the book about
yeah, let me bring this up.
What is it? Manichae or something? I can't remember how to pronounce his name. But the funniest thing is that this book is like a history book, right? But the way that this author randomly just goes in on Manichaeism, like, it seems a little out of character to just be like,
the author really hated it.
I need to take a moment to talk about how awful this guy was, how much he screwed the rest of us, and it was so funny.
I mean, it was kind of justified.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so here, let me actually find. Oh my god. So here's the reason why this guy ruined the whole world. But guys, if you feel any shame or any taboo for sex stuff, related stuff, it's because of this Persian
nightmare.
Yeah. This is a prophet. His name was Mani, and he's Persian. And this whole sex shaming and everything was popularized by the Catholic Church, who the Catholic Church got it from Augustine, Saint Augustine, and Saint Augustine got it from this Persian prophet named Mani. Okay, so and then the Catholic Church popularizing that eventually led to all the process. The whole concept of original sin, and Augustine was the main person who popularized that. And that he got that also from the disgusting nature of the flesh, the body, and sex and everything. Gross. Everything is disgusting about our, that all came from Mani, the prophet Mani, which Augustine got from. Right? So, yeah, guys, we Persians be ruining everything forever. we ruin sex. We ruin sex for the whole world. We ruin sex. And guys, here, as much as we keep attacking Hindutva, the modern Hinduism got that because of how popular the sex negativity was popularized by like the British, eventually the British Empire, the Islamic Empire, which again was popularized by Mani. Okay, so as much as we tell you guys like, oh my god, why is India so sex negative? I'm sorry, it was not. We did this to you. It was our fault. Wait, let me find that passage.
This is the opposite. Usually it's you're welcome.
Yes. Guys, the reason why we're bringing Sexy Cali to India is because I'm trying to fix. I'm apologizing for my people, what we did to India, right? We made people be ashamed of sex and they become sex negative. I'm just trying to clean up the mess of my ancestors. Okay, hold on. Let me read this. Where is this? This took a turn that I didn't expect, huh? Let me just read. Where is this? Oh yeah. Of all the fathers of the Christian Church, probably the most influential was Saint Augustine. Augustine wrote wonderful books that but here's the here. Where was that? Many of the ideas that Augustine teachings explicitly fix Christian doctrine, notably the original sin, strongly associated by him with sexuality. Oh yeah, here. Surely Augustine could not successfully have foisted upon the Christian Church Manichaean ideas that the church had already declared heretical. Oh yeah, so Manichaeism, the church actually was resisting Manichaeism, but Augustine's popularity and his influence by Mani's ideas made the church more tolerant. Yet that seems to be what have happened, and Augustine was accused of doing precisely this by contemporaries, notably by this other person. These theological, it was Augustine. It was Augustine that brought the original sin and sex negativity and being disgusted with anything earthly pleasure and everything that came from Saint Augustine to the Christianity. And sorry guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bring out the whips. It's time for a little self-flagellation.
That's very Manichaeist of you, actually. By the way, that's actually that's also
my point. You
Wait,
must punish the flesh.
Yes. Yeah. It led to every other religion. Goddamn money, guys. So here's the thing. No, actually, I'm not sure about that. I'm not gonna say it because it might not be true. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good question. Are there any requirements to join a Facebook Atheist Republic consulate? I keep getting rejected. Well, you need to be local to that area, or you need to visit there frequently. You also need to answer all of the questions that they list. So if you're not answering the questions, you're going to get rejected. And I have to be an atheist. So yeah.
Oh, this is easy. Where was your best holiday vacation and to why? Jerusalem. Jerusalem. I want to go back. Somebody invite me back and pay for my vacation. Yeah. Guys, go if you like anything about the history of religion. Here's the thing. Here's what I hate about going to Jerusalem. Ever since I've left, and I'm learning more about the history of Judaism, I'm like, why didn't nobody tell me? I should have known this when I was there. I'm like, oh my God, I read it. Like, I
have to go back.
I have to go back. I was like, I'm reading about it. I was like, I was right next to this, and I didn't know the significance of it. If I knew, and then I read more. I'm like, oh no, I was next to that as well, and I just passed by it, and somebody told me something, and I didn't understand. But if I had read this when I was there, like, I'm so like, I need to go back. I need to go back to Jerusalem. God damn it, I really need to go back to Jerusalem. Somebody invite me.
Take me.
Take me to Jerusalem.
Where was your best holiday vacation to and why? I really liked Oxford. I lived in Oxford for a summer. When I was 17. That was awesome. Some of the best memories of my life, really. I love England. I also really liked Prague. Prague was incredible. It was so cool, so pretty, very interesting. The Jewish quarter was really cool. I would love to go back to Prague. I feel like I only just Venice. Venice was awesome. I could spend a lot of time in Venice. Italy in general.
And yet you didn't go to the glass section. You told me you went to Venice, and I was like, did you went to the place where they make the glass? But
that's a lot of different places.
No, Venice is famous for that. Anyways.
Well, I know.
All right, Mir Jalal is complaining. Like, why did you skip my question?
Well, you could have just asked your question again.
Maybe you didn't ask good question. What did he ask?
I have no idea.
Are we rewarding people complaining? I'm rewarding people complaining about their questions not being asked by how.
That's new. That's a new look for you.
Yeah. Well, where is his questions? He's gonna cry if you don't find his questions. Okay, while you find this question, I'm gonna answer this one.
BLM movement has highlighted historical figures being part of slavery, but why was the Prophet Muhammad never mentioned by BLM protesters? Because he was a huge slave owner.
Okay, I must say though, I have some issues with many people in the BLM movement, but this ain't one of them. Okay, like they're focusing like. They're not supposed to be solving every issue under the sun, right? Like, I mean, they're focusing on a local issue. Why do they have to address this? This is about, if you're talking about BLM movement in the United States, for example, they're talking about, I don't know, police violence. I mean, you could address some of the problems they have, some of the issues that some of these organizations have with the way they address things. And I have that problem as well. But this is not one of the problems they have. Like, they're trying to tackle some discrimination against Black people in the United States. Why do they have to talk about Muhammad? Like that seems like very
Well, I mean, I guess he's
off
pointing
topic.
to a sort of hypocrisy because they do talk about the historical legacy of Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, that's America though.
I know, no, and George Washington, and then in the
America.
UK, Winston Churchill.
Because that's BLM UK.
I know. So, well, I guess
Maybe
you're right.
BLM. Maybe if you have
BLM,
BLB. No. Like,
BLM Arabic.
well, but they don't. There's no black people. It has to have a different name. But it's like I don't know. I don't think it's relevant to the activism. Just your activism doesn't require to be tackling everything.
It's funny because you know what you used to say about this. I think I remember you saying like, "Well, I hope they go after him next. Like, let's cancel."
Yeah, I would be like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If they do go after him, I would be like, oh my god, this is so interesting. Like, I would be excited if they be like, if this whole movement all of a sudden goes after Muhammad, like, oh my god, we noticed that Muhammad had black slaves, which he did, and if they go after him, I'm gonna be like,
in the corner with you, you're like, "Oh, let me get my popcorn."
Grab the unbuttered popcorn. I would be like so excited. Okay, I would be very excited, but I'm not expecting. Like, I wouldn't be like, "Why are you not doing this?" Right? Anyways, it's not gonna happen. But if it does, I would be happy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it is interesting to talk about how there are certain areas where the broader BLM movement, maybe not necessarily the core organization, has gone beyond its original focus of police brutality, primarily on from white officers on black unarmed people, but then they go beyond that scope in some things, but not others. I think that's interesting to think about.
Oh, okay. Aryan saying BLM wanted to tear down statues of slave owners, Islam Mosque, a monument to Prophet Muhammad as slave owner. That's a huge stretch. Like, they're not tearing down buildings. Imagine, okay, so if that's your standard, then to be consistent, they have to go and tear down every building built during the founding fathers, because the founding fathers, like, they're not doing that. The buildings are not, because where did that line of reason, like, are they going to go turn on the White House because it was built by slaves? And
you know there are some people that want to.
I know, but that's not what I mean. Okay, here's the thing. First of all, don't tear down statues. If you don't like them, petition for their removal, right? I think, right? Don't do anything illegal. And that's my take. And I think it's completely fair to be like, these statues do not represent our values, and we want to see if we could remove them. I think go for it, right? As long as you're not doing anything illegal, that's a fair thing to request. I think that saying statues represent certain values or certain things that society stands for, more than buildings. Buildings have utility. People go like, they have function, right? Like, that is a line of reasoning. Like, what, you want to turn on mosques because of, that's not, we don't support that here. We do not support turning down mosques, temples, churches. We don't even support. Okay, I don't support that at all. Yeah, and synagogues. Oh my god. Yeah. I think Mirjala, did he ask a question again?
I think you love this question. Why does Armand have such a perfect jawline? It's like a diamond.
Superior genetics. Wait, I don't know.
Oh, not like that.
No, not like that. No.
Oh my god. No, but we were talking about this earlier. Because it also has to do with you just losing weight.
Yes. I didn't have a jawline like this when I was heavier. Guys, I have found, it's not just genetics, it's also hard work. And no, it's actually not hard work. It's being smart enough to know how to achieve the most with the least amount of work. I have
figured out
I have cracked the code in living healthy, keeping your weight off, and eating non-stop food that I enjoy. Right? I'm getting all the nutrition that my body needs, all of them. Okay, not cutting any food groups. I'm eating non-stop every day. I'm not gaining any weight, and I'm enjoying my food. I have cracked the code. It's amazing.
And he's giving it to y'all free of charge.
No, I am not. Nobody's asking me, so I'm not.
No, but you talk about it frequently.
That doesn't even scratch the surface, guys. Oh, and it's also cheap. It's also cheap. People people say healthy diet, that's privilege. Do you know how expensive it is to live healthy? It's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's not. It's like. Wait, why am I hearing echo? Is it just me? I think it's just me. It's not time. What I figured. What my method is not time consuming. It's extremely cheap. Doesn't require cutting out any food groups. It's very healthy. It's delicious, and and you don't need to not eat. It requires no starvation. Eating nonstop, not gaining any weight, also not losing any strength. Yeah,
you lost a little strength, but you're not continuing to lose it.
Wait, okay. There's echo everywhere. Lower my volume. Okay, Susie, I gained a lot of strength, and then lost a little bit. Right, so I went from being I went to doing 15 presses of 60-pound dumbbells on each hand to 20, then to 23, and then back to 21, 22. So that was a huge jump and then a slight adjustment. So no strength as well. No strength loss as well.
I say that as if I have any strength whatsoever.
When will you do health videos? I've been begging for months and months. Okay, here's the thing. It will require me to like set up a camera in my kitchen, and I'm like not ready to do all of that. I'm not ready to do all of that, right? Maybe I could just like take a picture of what I'm eating and show it to you guys. But
you eat a lot, though. It's crazy.
I eat a lot.
I'm like, Susie, look at my breakfast, and it's literally like the entire table's countertop. I'm not exaggerating, you guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's breakfast. I'm going to have like probably 2 more snacks since then, lunch, 2 more snacks, dinner.
I snack all day as well.
All day.
Yeah, and I'm losing weight. Slowly. Losing weight slowly. Okay. And I have and I'm not gonna continue losing weight. Like at some point, I'm gonna start eating more, even more than now, because I don't want to go below 15% body fat. Mirjal, I'll finally re-ask this question. Mirjal, have you seen Steven Crowder's recent expose where he does sting operations exposing fraud voters in recent elections look pretty authentic? I have not, and I'm very skeptical, so I can't talk about it right now because I don't know. Yeah, so very easy answer. I don't know.
I'd be very curious to see that, though. How anecdotal is this? I am inclined to not believe that what he found, given it's valid and authentic, is enough to overturn the election.
You know what? So Susie does look like she works out, and she without working out. It's amazing. Susie does have superior genes.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's not good. Because, guys, if your genes are too good, that means you always look good no matter what you eat and without exercise. That means you're gonna miss out on a healthy lifestyle, right? So because you look good all the time, and
I don't gotta work for it.
And you don't, but then exercise and a healthy diet is important for a good lifestyle, right? So it's possible for you to have too good of,
especially in terms of aging.
Yeah.
One of the best predictors of remaining cognitively sharp as you age is having a lifetime of exercise. So I really do need to get on that.
Yeah. So if you have not been blessed with the best of genes, that might have been a blessing. Because that might have meant that you had to work for a better looking physique, and because you had to work for it, you might end up living a higher quality and longer life because of the effort that you had to put into looking better. Oh, by the way, disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, I'm not a health expert, and I'm not a dietitian. And everything I say could be completely wrong, and I don't know anything about any of this. And you should go do your own research and talk to an expert.
Yeah, I don't work out. I just only eat like once or twice a day.
Right. Oh, that's bad. So I was saying, before BLM,
many people would never think of Winston Churchill as a mass murderer like the H guy. He means Adolf from World War II. Any thoughts? Well, a lot of people would. I think it just allowed a moment to have a conversation about other aspects of his legacy.
Right. And I also was convinced that Winston Churchill did commit a lot of war crimes. And then I looked into the counterpoints, and some people were suggesting if you do a deeper dive, he wasn't a war criminal. And I'm like, I think maybe he was a war criminal, especially what he did in India and all. And other people were like, no, he wasn't, because this is what he had to do and this and that. I don't know. This seems like it requires a lot more research for me to figure out what the truth is. And I'm just going to say, I don't know. Right. I thought for a long time that, he was definitely not as bad as Adolf, but I assume that it's based on what I've heard. A conspirator to me suggested that he had committed a lot of war crimes. But now that there's a challenge to that, I don't know if the challenge to that is correct or not, because I haven't done my research on this. So I don't know. Oh, wait, let's.
One day, Armin is going to be my personal trainer.
Yes. Yeah, maybe. Armin will be the Gordon Ramsay of working out, yelling at all of us for being weak creatures. I wouldn't do that. That's mean.
It's hilarious, though. When you are working out, you do yell a lot.
Well, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
It's not funny. It's manly, okay?
No, because I'll just hear in the background, like... That's what's funny. It's like just off camera.
Right. That's only when I hit failure. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means like when you get to a point where you can't do anymore, if you just give it all you got, then I don't know. This is why it's good if you do exercise at home, because there's things you could do that you can't do in a gym, because it's really annoying to people around you if you do that, right? It's really annoying, and people are like, "Shut up!" I'm like, I can't give it all I got because of these people around me, right?
Because of social desirability. Sheesh.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, when you're at home, it's better. Also, when you're in the gym, they're playing a music loud that keeps mixing with your music. I'm like, I have music. Who doesn't have their own music when they are working out? Why does everyone have to listen to this music? Just turn it down so I could hear my music. Like, my music is mixing with your music. I hate gyms. Anyway.
All these sweaty people touching my stuff.
Okay, do you want to read this?
Black people constitute 10 to 15% of the Saudi population, but they are completely assimilated into Arab culture and consider themselves Arab.
Okay. Oh, that's a comment. All right. I don't know how true that is. but I guess we'll take your word for it.
Armin, if you believe in not letting anyone tell you what you can and can't say, then will you break national rules like burning a country's flag? What about saying the N-word?
Wait, I don't think that nobody should not be able to tell me what I can or cannot say. They can tell me what I should and should not say, and I could choose to ignore them or listen to their advice. Right? So, yeah, I don't think anybody shouldn't be able to tell me. Like if somebody comes and tells me that, Armin, I don't think you should do this, say that. They have every right to come and tell me that they think I shouldn't say something, and I get to listen to them telling me what I should or should not say, and I could discern to be like, yes, you have a point. If I say this, it's going to cause more harm than good. I will listen to you, and then I'll listen to someone like, Armin, you shouldn't say this. I'm like, I think you're full of crap, and I'm not going to listen to your advice, right? So I think people should get to tell me what I should and should not say, and nobody's telling them not to.
I certainly think you should be able to burn a country's flag, no question.
Yeah, and I think it would be a good idea to burn a country's flag, if it's not a crime. Okay, especially if it's not a crime and it's somebody suggesting that it should be, then you're in a safe position to burn it as a fight for freedom, because first of all, you're not committing anything illegal, and secondary, you're trying to make sure that this doesn't become law by normalizing it, right? However, if it does become illegal, then it's your, you could decide that this is an unjust law, and if you want to take the risk to do something that is illegal because you're fighting against an unjust law, that's your choice. Okay, you would be considered a hero, in my opinion. I'm not advising anybody to break the law, okay? But this is basically the same as not sitting at the back of the bus. I'm not saying that following every law is justified. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't commit anything illegal. No. I'm not suggesting that people should take this risk, but if somebody decides to take this risk by breaking an unjust law, I think that's a very noble thing to do. And
Civil disobedience.
Civil disobedience. I think it's a good thing, right? So yeah, burning country flag, I think makes sense. The N-word, I don't think it makes sense to use that, because this is not a law, and it's not even close to ever becoming a law. So I don't see why you would use a word that doesn't benefit anybody. Like, there is no legal consequences to saying that, right? So I don't see why would that be a sign of protest by using it. I just see some people requesting not to use that because what it means and how it's used, it's an insult to a whole bunch of group of people. And right now, there's a request for people not to use that. There's no legal consequences for using that. And, so why would I use it? I don't see any purpose in using it, especially because using it. So here's the thing. If somebody uses it because they're quoting somebody, to me, the intention matters, right? But I think like a lot of people who do use it, they are actively just trying to hurt a whole bunch of people. And I think that, some people who might be using it might even act like their intentions is not to normalize hurting people. So I just I don't want to provide cover for that, right? Yeah, I choose not to use it. I do think that if at any point somebody was like quoting Martin Luther King and they use the N-word and people attack that person, I think that's ridiculous. That's insane. I think if somebody, so there are certain, I think the intentions do matter. I think intentions matter. Like if somebody is celebrating Martin Luther King, right? And they're reading a quote by Martin Luther King and it has the N-word in there and they say it, okay? This person is not a racist. They're celebrating this, this guy is their hero, right? maybe you could argue that maybe they shouldn't use it, right? Even if they are celebrating Martin Luther King, but maybe you have a point. But accusing them of racism is insane. Also, you another thing is that even if you can point to me like, okay, Armin, then you think that if you're quoting Martin Luther King and you use the N-word, that's not a bad thing in that situation, then use it. Well, then in that situation, I'm like, well, I have to pick our battle, right? Like, even though this is not illegal, I think that the backlash that you might get from that might lose every single platform that we have, right? How many battles do we have to fight at this point, right? Like, I'm not convinced that you should use it just to make a point, right? But we're already losing our platforms left and right. And you want me to fight this battle as well and lose more of our platforms, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you need to be a bit more strategic about how we actually end up reaching to people that we want to reach to, right? So yes, we want to be able to normalize a fight against unjustified forms of censorship, but there needs to be some planning and some strategy to that as well. It can't be just like go out guns blazing and willy-nilly at everything and everyone. And again, I'm not even convinced that this would be justified or not, right? I'm saying even if it was justified, we have to pick our battles. But go on, Susie.
But I think I've heard you argue before or talk about how you don't think it should be so taboo.
No, here's the thing. I think even if you could convince me that it's wrong, if somebody didn't intend to be racist, they shouldn't be like, you could be like, I think that was wrong for you to use that. You shouldn't be like, you're racist. Like, it shouldn't be like a taboo. You could be like, maybe they did something that is wrong. But if they weren't intending to be racist about it, then tell them they were wrong without accusing them of racism. You know what I mean? Like, so if somebody thinks like, look, I'm just quoting Martin Luther King, how is this racist? If you think they're doing something wrong, that is different from accusing them of being a bigot, right? So it shouldn't be as, so I'm just saying, like, telling people, like, so yeah, it shouldn't be a taboo because, it could be as bad as somebody being misinformed about how much harm something could cause, right? It could be that. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But even if you're on the side of using this word is harmful, then don't just put everybody in the basket. Well, you must be a bigot if you're using it, because there's some context to some. Like, let's say somebody like sings it in a song, and they don't think this is racist because they're just singing a song, okay?
Yeah.
And maybe you disagree with them. Maybe you're like, no, you shouldn't use it, even if it's in a song. Maybe you're right and they're wrong, but even if they're wrong, that doesn't mean that they're racist for using it in a song. Anyways,
well, I'll have to rewatch the conversation you had with Shannon Q. We had a conversation about that towards the end, and I can't remember what you said about it, but it made people's heads explode in her live chat. I feel like your take was like much spicier than what you just said in some way.
No, I said the same thing. I
said if somebody like, Armin, why are you doing this to me?
I said specifically this. I gave the same example. I said, how could it be racist if you're quoting Martin Luther King?
No, that's why I said I'll have to rewatch it, because I feel like I remembered something different.
Tell me if I'm being inconsistent.
Yeah.
Guys, by the way, I talk a lot. I'm pretty sure I have been inconsistent on some things because I keep evolving my views on things. So if you do notice that I've been inconsistent on a position, let me know, and I'll think about the two different positions that you're pointing out to me, and I'll pick one of them, one over another. I mean,
or multiple.
Or like maybe it wasn't inconsistent. Maybe you're thinking that it's inconsistent. Anyways, let's see this. Let's go through the question.
A lot, though.
Yeah. Let's go through them really fast now.
Sabella Toto 2 says, Armin and Susanna, what are your thoughts on the Legionnaires of Christ? Marcy, some of my family know him. I have no idea what this is.
I have no idea what this is. Let's go through them. Sorry, guys.
What about Time Magazine's expose on how the election was saved? Pretty well admitting all conspiracy theories.
If you think like trying to win,
that, I haven't.
No, I mean, I looked into that. It seemed like if you think that spreading information about doing everything you can to win an election legally, if you think that's a conspiracy, then sure, the conspiracy theories are true. but that's not a, yeah, I believe those. Like, what do you mean? Like, I read that everything that they claimed that they did to win the election was within the realm of what you're allowed to do legally. The conspiracy theories about the elections go into the realms of illegal things. No, I don't think it admits the conspiracy theories. Everything that Time Magazine exposed that they did to win the election was legal. The things that the Trump supporters claim happened is illegal, and none of that has been proven. Anyways, let's go this.
That's not a question.
Oh, okay.
That's not a question.
Not a question.
Did you watch the ContraPoints video yet? Nope.
Okay, we'll do that. Sorry.
Not a question.
Not a question. I'm just looking at the ones that are being tagged.
Okay, this is a good one. Please. And I love this. I was going to choose this just because it says Habibi.
Okay.
And Habibi is one of my favorite words. I don't care if people say appropriating shit. Please, Habibi, be honest. Do you think that the Israeli settlements are as bad as Hamas because of their violence against Palestinians does exist, despite what Western media tells us? Well, Armin, you're against the settlements.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as Hamas. Wait, what? Okay, be honest. I'm always honest. No, to be honest, I'm not always honest, but I'm most of the time.
You're more honest most often than anyone else I know. So,
yes. Please, Habibi, be honest. Do you think that the Israeli settlements are as bad as Hamas? No. Whoa. Wait, do you guys think that just because I think that the Israeli settlements are bad, that they're as bad as Hamas? No, not even close. Because the violence against Palestinians does exist, despite what Western media tells us. Yeah, there is unjustified violence against Palestinians. There are legitimate human rights violations by Israeli government. There's many of that, right? However, it doesn't even come close to Hamas. Like, I have been. Yeah, just because I say like Israel has, it's not as bad. Definitely not as bad. It's not even close. Not even close. If you adjust for per capita, and if you adjust for military capability and genocidal tendencies, definitely Hamas wins that by huge margin. Okay, so I know this is a comment, but we have to read it.
Yes, I was going to highlight this too. The Muhammad and Ayatollah Khamenei and Cyrus the Great art is too good. I'm not even gay, haha. Guys, if you want to know what Desert Cami is talking about, you should go check out our Patreon. Or you can go to blasphemousart.com and you can get a little preview of it, where you can also sign up for our newsletter and you get the safe for work version of it.
Right.
For free.
Yes,
so guys, sign up for our newsletter.
You get all our blasphemous art, all our beautiful, sexy blasphemous art is available to our newsletter subscribers for free. We make two versions of our art. One of them is safe for work, and the other one is explicit, not safe for work. And the free version to our newsletter subscribers is the safe for work version, and our patrons get the not safe for work version. Cool. What is this one? Almost
Armin,
done.
have you caught the Canadian disease of apologizing for everything, like saying sorry when someone steps on your toes?
I've actually become better at catching myself lately when I do say I'm sorry.
It's pretty hilarious.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Come at me. All right. So if you ever notice that I say sorry for something that I shouldn't be sorry about at all, remind me that stop being a pussy, Armin. And I'm like, oh yeah, screw you. Like, I'm not sorry. Why am I apologizing? I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, cool. Have you two watched Daniel Hageju's recent video on atheism? What did you think of it? Well, how recent? And what do you? He has a lot of videos on atheism. If it's very recent, I might go take a look and maybe I will review it. Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Oh, that's the same question.
Oh, we got that. We're getting closer to the end. Guys, no more questions. We're ending this soon.
When ex-Muslims like myself refuse to accept that burning the Quran is just an expression of freedom, and I find it gratuitously hurtful, am I wrong? Well, it's definitely free expression. You're totally welcome for yourself to find it gratuitously hurtful. It may not be for other people.
Wait, yeah, I mean, when ex-Muslims like myself refuse to accept that burning the Quran is just an expression of freedom, it's just, and I find it, it's just, so are you for it? Or is this confusing?
No, they're not. They refuse to accept that burning the Quran fits under freedom of expression, and they find it gratuitously hurtful.
Am I wrong? Yes, you are wrong.
Yeah.
Because no, you're definitely wrong. Look at your own question, Ahmed. Your question is very telling. You're saying that you refuse to accept that the burning Quran is just an expression of freedom, expression of freedom, and find it gratuitously hurtful. So are you suggesting, look, your question suggests that something is not an expression of freedom if it's hurtful?
You find it gratuitously hurtful.
How do you not see your question answers your own question? Answers your own question. So the whole point of freedom of expression is to defend speech that is hurtful. That is the point of freedom of expression. You wouldn't need to defend freedom of expression if any form of expression or speech was not hurtful, because there would be no opposition to it
in the first
place.
place.
Why would you even have freedom of protection for expressing of an idea if it wasn't hurtful? The entire point of fighting for freedom of expression is for expression that is hurtful. That is the entire point of it. You wouldn't need it if some speech was not hurtful.
Wait, anyways. I think they're correcting himself, saying, "No, baby, it is freedom of expression, but it is hurtful." So you're saying, okay, so you do believe it is freedom, even though you recognize that it fits within freedom of expression, you still find it gratuitously hurtful. You are welcome to find it gratuitously hurtful.
That is why we don't like it when somebody burns the Quran to an audience that does not want to see it. We don't think that any form of content or expression should be forced upon anybody who is not comfortable with consuming that content or material, right? So if anybody ever sees us burning the Quran or desecrating the Quran, for them to see that, they have to follow us or click on the videos that we have produced, which is clearly labeled desecrating the Quran, right? And they have to actively look for it. If anybody ever is uncomfortable with seeing the Quran is desecrated, and you don't give them an option for them not to see the Quran not being desecrated, then you are committing something potentially illegal, right? You're harassing them, right? Yeah, so that is absolute harassment, right? No, when we think like if you do not like a certain content, you have every right not to be exposed to it. However, you don't get to tell us not to produce that content. You get, like, if we write a book that is hurtful to you, you have every right not to read that book. You don't get to tell us not to write that book. If you don't like a certain art, like our blasphemous art, you have every right not to look at the art that we make. You don't have the right to tell us not to make it. Same thing with the desecration of Quran. If you don't like, if you think it's disgusting, if you think it's gross, by all means. We have even gone farther recently. Every time we do desecrate, like we used to feel like, well, it's in the title, so don't click on it. But now we even give trigger warnings, right? When we desecrate the Quran, for example, we tell them people like, guys, we're going to desecrate the Quran. Trigger warning if you're a Muslim watching this and you don't enjoy it. Trigger warning. And now we are about to desecrate the Quran. And we look away if you don't, or if you go away. And we're going to let you know, if you're just listening, when we're done with desecrating the Quran, so you could come back in. So we're doing even trigger warnings when we desecrate the Quran.
And to everyone in the live chat saying that Ahmed is not an ex-Muslim just because he finds that gratuitously hurtful, he must be Muslim. You can go screw yourself.
Yeah.
You don't get to police that kind of thing. He's welcome to find it gratuitously hurtful. Anyone who left their faith is still welcome to find the desecration of things that they once held sacred hurtful. Because that can mean many things to many people. So, yeah.
Yeah.
To people who like, go screw yourself.
No. I don't agree with that. Anything else do you want to highlight before we go, or are we good?
All I see is nonsense.
Don't say that. There's some good. Like, this is not nonsense. Somebody's saying, "What do you think about China?"
But that is nonsense because it's too vague.
Well, it's not. Yeah, just tell them it's too. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, but Heavy Bell. There's so many, like the Chinese government, Chinese people, the Chinese poetry, Chinese philosophy, Chinese history, Chinese mythology, Chinese, like, what do you think about China? Like China is not one thing. What do you think?
The current government,
the
actions of the government, like
the CCP, like, okay, like here, like I hate the CCP. I love Chinese mythology. There you go. Like, so there's like, I like, so
there's lots of the culture that's really cool.
Yeah, there's really good Chinese people and there's some bad Chinese people. Like, this is not very specific of a question. All right. One more question, Susie, you get to highlight and then we go.
There's some questions that would just take way too long.
Oh my God. No, see, this is not government, obviously. No, it's not obvious.
No, it's
not. This is a problem. You can't mix an entire country with its government. Just referring to everything about China as if everything about China, like if you wanted to criticize the Chinese government, say the government, say the CCP. So referring to a country as if everything, the government of that country represents everything about that country is a problem that we're trying to, I mean, we are guilty of that as well. Like sometimes like, oh, Saudi Arabia does this and that. I have to be more careful. No, like the Saudi government, right? Like
we're better at that than pretty much anyone else I know, though.
Yeah, but even we make that mistake. Yeah.
Oftentimes when we do, we say like we're using shorthand just for the sake of brevity.
Yeah, but we shouldn't. Yeah, it's not good. It's not fair to the people there.
So Daniel made a video 1 week ago named "Dark Truths of the Atheist Mind." The production value is so high. I wonder where he gets.
How did I miss this? Was this on the Muslim Skeptic channel?
I know what we have to watch tonight.
What?
We're watching this video, obviously.
Where is this? I'm not seeing it on his channel. I'm looking at the Muslim Skeptic. It's not there. Where is this, guys? What channel? Oh no, I see it. It's 2 episodes. It's episode 2. Where was it? Oh, the Dark Truths about the Atheist Mind.
I know what we're watching tonight.
How is YouTube failing me? Why is this not showing up on my timeline? Oh my God, I'm subscribed. I hit the bell and everything, and I still don't see these things. YouTube.
Because we are tapped into Daniel. Can I admit something to you guys? This is going to be very unpopular to a lot of our audience. And I know Armin agrees with me on this.
Do I?
Daniel and his wife are one of the cutest couples ever.
True.
Like, honestly, they're kind of couple goals. Like, they're really cute together.
That's funny.
Like, you can just tell she loves him so much the way that she looks at him. It's really sweet.
She's like that when we were watching them together, and Danielle was like expressing something, and you could just see her eyes because she has a full niqab, and she's looking at him, and she's so proud, and she's like, even looking at her eyes, you can see like she's smiling. And we're like, we were like, oh my God, like she's so proud of him.
They're talking about gender roles in Islam and stuff, and he makes a point, and she just looks at him, and it's like this facial expression. It's like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Like he got it. Yeah. And I'm like,
they're so in agreement with each other.
They're so cute.
I'm like, oh my God.
I love them together.
Oh my god,
So
that's
cute.
okay, cool. All right, we need to go. By the way, actually, one thing, they have some really problematic views, right?
Mhm.
And you wouldn't be able to get away with saying this if this was about like an alt-right couple. People would cancel you, like, oh my god, look at you humanizing people with
God
problematic.
forbid.
Yeah, no,
We
like,
treat humans like humans.
but you won't get in trouble for like saying the same things about Daniel and his wife. Because, anyways, we need to go. And this was fun. And yeah, guys, subscribe to my personal channel if you're watching this later on Atheist Republic.
And turn on the
Link it-
notifications so you know when we go live.
Yeah, no, actually, subscribe to our newsletter because apparently that's the only way for you to get our content. And you get sexy blasphemous art for free. And also my book, Why There's No God, for free if you subscribe to our newsletter. Link. Oh, link in the description. You get that book for free. So yeah, bye.
I keep it on hand, right here.
Good. Okay, bye. Thank you.